The Carnaross farmer. My school days were filled with confusion. I was a bit thick, that's the truth, and my parents came to the conclusion that I wasn't quite fit for minute. Too tall for a dwarf in the circus, I hadn't the height for the guards, and in between stump of a garçon, not designed for financial rewards. Now my mother said I was a charmer, and my father could be very cross, and he sent me to work for a farmer in a backward place near Carnaross. Well, this man had no sister or brother, and he must have been 70 or more, and he lived with his old widowed mother, an invalid, aged 94. Now the work was fair, far from easy, and I couldn't do anything right, and the grub it was anything but grazy. Dried stir about morning and night. And the dinners had great variation. Don't talk about mutton and malt. One day we'd get salt and potatoes, and the next week potatoes and salt. Then the next month things got a bit better. An old gander died in the coop, and we ate the meat straight from the feathers, and we dined for a month on the soup. Then the next month 'twas all vegetation, just cabbage and turnips and grass. It wasn't high-calorie rations. Then misfortune befell the old ass. One morning I went to catch Walter, for that was the old donkey's name, and as soon as I pulled on the halter I could see he was terribly lame. And I went up and I told the old farmer. He eyed him up crooked and straight. Then he spoke, his voice choked with emotion. Sure, there's no use in wasting, good mate. Then he sent me up home for the hatchet, the big butcher's knife and the saw, and poor Walter just gave one last hee-haw as he sank in a heap on the straw. Then he wiped the big knife on his breeches, saying, "That's the last journey for Walt," and he split the old ass down the middle, and he sent me to town for the salt. Now the meat of an ass is like rubber, too strong for a stomach like mine, but the farmer had teeth like a grubber, and he ate the meat straight from the brine. Then he offered a piece to his mother, thinking that it might help her improve, but she spent the night roaring for Andrews, just to keep the ass meat on the hoof, on the move. Well, he slept and he snored in the kitchen, and she belched and she broke wind upstairs, and the noise and the smell and the vibration, it was hard put to say my prayers. I got up the next morning, bright and early. As I came down I saw with surprise the old doll was laid out on the table, and the farmer just closing her eyes. I ran from that house terror-stricken. The farmer was shouting, "Halt, halt!" As I ran down the road, I could hear him scream, "Will you not go to town for the salt?"